G'day everyone, welcome to my channel. We're going to start something new today. I don't know if this is going to see the light of day because I'm just going to try it. You'll have to excuse the shadowing at the moment, and I'm a little bit quiet because it is 6 in the morning while I'm filming this and everyone's asleep. But I got up and I'm like, may as well get started. I'm going to start a quick little project and see how we go. Now, I got inspired by someone, Country Craft Creations. You know, when you're watching YouTube and you're watching it but you're actually doing stuff, so it kind of is in the background, and every now and again you glance up. That's what happened. She made like a little box thing, and I went, cool. I watched a little bit of it. I don't know if it's exactly the same way. I'm just going to wing it. But that was kind of where I got it from. I don't know why I watch Country Craft Creations. I can't get any of that paper in Australia anyway. But I like the ideas that people come up with, and that's what it's all about. It's not really about the paper, it's about the ideas. And what I'm going to use for today to make the box is I got this. Alright, I love red and I like poppies and stuff like that, so I managed to get my hands on this, and I'm like, well, what can I do with it? So I'm going to show you the papers. So it's called Wild Poppy Collection. They're not in order because I've been playing with them. But yeah, so these are the papers that come in. You get two of each. So my thing is I'm only going to use one bit of it, and then stretch the rest with some plain cardstock and so forth. And hopefully, you know, this stuff isn't cheap. In Australia, any of these kind of papers are not that cheap, so I try to make it go as far as possible. Yeah, so got this, but I couldn't, you know, we've been talking about wanting some poppy ones, and this come up, and Georgia always says you need to do something brighter, because I'm always doing more of the vintage kind of look. So I saw this and I went, well, that fits two things, and that was just that coming through. So that was this again, and I'm like, well, we'll do two birds with one stone, and use that collection, make it brighter, and also be poppies. So I picked this up at the this little thing at the thrift shop yesterday, or a couple of days ago, when I was in Brisbane, and it's a cool little thing. So it's just like a big folio, and I'm like, that's perfect for like little projects like this. I'll put all these price tags. Perfect for little projects like this, to keep all my papers. So I've already fussy cut some out of this one. I'm not going to do them all because I like background papers as well, so I'm like, we'll see what happens as we go. A little bit of scraps that I've kept. And I have fussy cut out a few of these things. I don't know what I'm going to do. I didn't want to go overboard with fussy cutting, so I've done these guys here, and I've made some butterflies out of some of the scraps from cutting around this, and then I've used some leaf punches and dies to make a few little leaves, and then I've got some tags and stuff there. This is a little ephemera holder that I made the other day, ironically using poppy paper that I have, so go figure. But yeah, I come up with a new little idea for the thing on how to add these pockets, because they're not vellum, and they're not glued down. It's a little secret there. But yeah, I've got to film how to make that at some point. Okay, so what I'm using is black cardstock, and then I'm going to use, I've got some heavyweight cardstock that's kind of like cereal box thickness as well. So this is from Poppy Crafts, and it's 350 GSM, or 380 GSM. So it's really thick card, more like a lightweight chipboard. So I'm going to use that as well. So this is, I was kind of half watching. I've got, I don't really want to go overboard with inking, so I've just got a green ink that will tie in with the paper, and this is papercraft in Fern. It's just a nice Fern green. Go figure. Okay. So the first thing is 2 12 by 12 pieces of paper. And I've already scored them, but I'll show you where I've scored them. We've got, this is super hard, 12 by 12. 2, 2, 2, and 2. I'm going to make an 8 by 8 box. That was good. I like that. Very little wastage. Okay. So let's get to thinking what we're going to do. This is going to be, so we've got a lid and a base. I think I'm going to work on the lid. The lid's easy. I'm just going to stick this to here in the middle, just to give it more weight, and like the paper's quite thick too, so at the end of it it'll be quite a sturdy box. I'm going to cut out these corner squares. That's what I'm going to do. Oh no, I don't know if I want to yet. These, let's leave the lid because I'm trying to think how I want the lid for. No, let's just do it. Okay. Alright. I'm going to come in at the score line straight up. Straight up. Yep. Alright, these ones I'm just going to leave as tabs for now. So I'm going to come in straight up, because I don't know whether I'm going to make it an actual lidded box or a fold out one, but I'm going to leave it as tabs just in case. I'm just going to remove the score line. So just removing that little tiny piece for now. If I decide to come back later, I will just remove it all. So when I'm doing that, I'm coming in and you can just see that score line there, and just taking out that score line. Okay, that's that. Let's put this down in here to begin with. Just making sure it all folds up around it. It does. Okay, so I've made these an 1/8 of an inch smaller, so they're 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. So just so we make sure we've got enough room for hinging and all of that kind of stuff. I just always like to make sure my corners are done. Whew, nothing like solid glue first thing in the morning to wake you up. I love this glue, but it's also why I've given up wearing nail polishes so much, because I'm not very, I'm not very good. I get it everywhere, and hence it eats off my because it's acetone based. It eats off my nail polish. All right, so there we go. So we got the base there. That is lid. Okay. All right. So now let's come to the base. And same thing. So I'm just going just in from that score line. So when I'm cutting it, you can see the score line there. I'm just going just inside of it on each one. So when I come around to this one now, because I'm taking out the corner, I'm just going to go to the left of it and take it out that way. If I ever look awkward with using scissors on camera, it's because I am. I'm a left-hander that has learned to use right-handed scissors because there weren't left-handed scissors readily available when I was growing up. So it's always it's always a little bit awkward. Just gotta fold them in and make sure I've got no furry bits in any corners. There we go. Cool bananas. Right. So same thing again. We've got this cardstock. Oh, yeah. Yeah, growing up being left-handed, like I'm pretty good. I'm ambidextrous with most things now because of having to learn how to. Like I was lucky. I am young enough that I wasn't in the era of they tried to basically beat the left-handedness out of you. I'm very lucky that that's not where I was. But things weren't readily available for lefties, so I had to learn how to use both. Um, so it's like Evelyn sent me a left-handed sharpener not long ago, and for the life of me, my brain just can't because I'm so used to the right-handed sharpening. It's hard to 40 plus years of learning how to live in a right-handed world. Learning lefty stuff is kind of bizarre. Okay, so I've got these ones here are 7 7/8 by 1 7/8. So just an eighth shorter than the size of the sides. Where's my but it also explains why I always look completely khaki when I'm doing stuff because it's like, yeah. Because I am. And it's funny because I eat right-handed, like say normal, knife and fork. Well, normal right-handed knife and fork holding. And my brother is completely right-handed, yet he eats left-handed. It's really odd. Growing up, everyone thought it was my setting at the table that was left-handed, and it wasn't. It was my brother's. Which I always find bizarre. But so obviously there somewhere is a bit of left-handedness in his brain as well, ambidextrous, and so that's how it's come out on him. It was always good for me playing tennis and stuff because I'm not a very sporty person. All right, I'm a geek. Okay, I'm an indoor girl. I'm an indoor kind of girl. I used to do a bit of swimming and stuff like that. Basically, introverted sports, weightlifting, swimming, boxing, all of those kinds of things that don't require a lot. Um, I did play a bit of rugby and stuff, but mostly introverted sports or no sports, preferably. Um, but playing things like tennis and squash and stuff, it was great because I'm useless as it is. So backhanded, you could imagine I'm super useless. So I get to. I used to just swap the racket between my hands and hope that I'd hit the ball at some point. Same as cricket. Oh. I still haven't worked out to this day whether I'm left-handed cricketer or right-handed, and I can bowl both hands, but badly. I'm not even going to pretend that I'm good at any of it. Okay, so that's there. So that's reinforced our box, and we'll get further reinforced as we add things. That is just I'm drinking a can of Coke at 6 in the morning. Shh. That's just water from that condensation. Okay, I can get rid of this mouse. I don't think we really need that. I've got to think about what I'm going to do with my life. So eventually this will come onto here, but I'm going to keep them separate for now, just to make construction easier and filming. Oh, I suppose I have to figure out what I want to do. There is that question. What do I want to do? I don't know. Okay. Alright. Let's see if I can figure out what I want to be the front cover. That might be helpful. Do I want to use one of these? And then mat around it? Or do I need something like this? See, something like this could be nice as the front. So it'll go out and out like that, and then mat around it, and we could make a little frame to put there. That's a potential. I like that idea better. Same as this, we could go out. I just don't think that's bam enough. I don't know. Technical terms there, bam enough. Could do that. I am going to add some poppies to it. You know, like I've made some cutouts, so like maybe this would be better. Because there, and then have a spray of poppies. Decisions. And then there's the back of this. But if I use the back of that, I pretty much get rid of all of them. I don't want to make that. Okay. So this is, I'm just filming this. I don't know if people find it interesting. This is kind of how I think about what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go for a roundabout. And I'm like, okay, so there's that. I could have a spray of poppies coming up here. It could work. What was the other one? This one. If I use this one, I'd still be able to use the spray of poppies up in the corner. I really like this, so I'm going to go that because I like it. Now, the question is, do I want it coming from the top and having the spray of poppies down the bottom? Yeah, because when it folds out, that's going to be better. Welcome to how I talk to myself. What do I want to do? No, we're gonna go this corner because I like it. Okay. Alright. I like those them. Oh no, little things, hey. Alright. Get rid of this paper for now. Now, I'm going to end up matting this, I think, with a bit of gold and a bit of red. So I was thinking if I have a bit of gold, like that, and then a bit of red, like that. Obviously not quite so much. But do I want to go gold and then red, or red and then gold? So there's that. Or do I want to do it this way? I'm thinking a small bit of red and then a large bit of gold might be nice. So that'll be 8 7/8. That'll be 8 and 5/8. So give a quarter. Do I want more? I kind of want a quarter. Like that. That looks nice. So that would be quarter, so half an inch down. So 8 and 3/8, and then this would be 7 and 7 and 1/8. So 7 and 1/8. I'm going to write that down because I'm going to forget. 7 and 1/8, 7 and 3/8, and 7 and 7/8. Yeah. So they're the sizes that I'm going to make the squares, and I reckon that will add extra strength to it as well. I'm gonna pause it probably while I go cut these because I don't think you want to I don't know what I'm doing. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, I'm kind of glad I paused you though because I'm on school holidays at the moment, so I'm off work on holiday and on term break. But I forgot to undo my alarm because I've been away at work as well for the start of this holiday. So the alarm just went off. It scared the bejesus out of me. So I was like, kind of glad that I wasn't filmed because I may have not been uncursed with. Might have said something. It's always why you first get these daubers wet. Takes a bit. I'm not going to worry about the red cardstock, but I'm going to just do the edge of this gold just to take off the whiteness. Okay. Let's go with this. See, this is the problem. Double-sided paper. It's the ongoing bane of double-sided paper. Some things it's great for, and then places like this, I just hate wasting the pattern on the other side. It's like I just feel wrong. Like, but it's just such a waste. That's why I really like I really like Kaiser Crafts papers, because they do a pack most of the time that's single-sided, which is great. But they also offer, you can individually buy the double-sided papers. So you can, depending on your needs, you can get either one. And I love that choice, because for making albums, I don't need double-sided papers. But for making things that I'm going to add into journals or that kind of stuff, or even some cards that pop out and things, double-sided paper is great. But yeah, when you pay a fortune for the papers, you're like, I don't know, it's just my little thing. I know, it's minor, you know. As they say, first world problems. It's not the be all and ends all. I'm lucky I'm in a position that I can afford to buy the papers most days. Although, I am challenging myself to know by July. By the time this has gone up, probably failed it. You know, a couple of days into July. But I'm going to try. I need to just stop. And every now and again I need to put myself on a spend freeze, just to regroup myself and use the things that I have. Force myself to use the stuff that I've got, instead of going, ooh, pretty, and getting sidetracked by it. On the outside of albums, I like to use double-sided tape as well as glue, just to stop corners lifting up and so forth. Straight? No. Is it good enough? Yes. No, it's not. I can't. Let's see if I can get it up. Let's try again. Even more crooked now. See, this is why I don't do this stuff on camera, because if I do it on camera, I'm too busy trying to get it in frame instead of picking it up how I normally would, so I could get it straight, if that makes sense. That's where it is. That's where it's staying. A little bit straighter than it was. Not much, but a little bit. Where did I put my glue rubber? Where did you go, my lovely? Dun, dun, dun. I wanna know, where did you go? Okay. I'm going to bench that down. Now to try for take 2. Yeah, Joyce. Joyce. It's looking set to be a lovely day. Winter still hasn't really come yet. I don't know if it will even. So hasn't been cold. Like, it's crisp in the mornings, but it's not cold as such. We shall wait and see as to whether we get some cold snaps or not in the next month or so. But, it hasn't been all that, yeah, which is a disappointment. I love winter. Winter's my favourite season because I get to wear boots and scarves and jackets, and my dress sense is always better in winter. In summer it's like, yeah, what's cool? T-shirt, excellent. I'm dressing for comfort, whereas in winter I can dress for warmth and a bit of style. That being said, I'm filming this and I'm still in my jammies, so because it's early in the morning. I desperately need to empty my scrap bin underneath the desk. But anyway, right. Let's see how bad I can do this time round. Yes, Casper, that's how I feel right now too, mate. I get it. There we go. Not too bad. Not ridiculously crooked. Alright. It's like, this is why I don't like using double-sided tape. It takes forever. At least with the glue, it's kind of like, boom, done, you be done. And if I make mistakes, it's easy to move. This double-sided tape, not so much. And yes, I put the glue over the double-sided tape to give me a little bit of movement, but it's still that little bit extra effort, you know. And who wants to effort? Well, but I am looking forward to just chillaxing today. I don't have anything I need to do other than craft, and I've got to help move and build a bit of furniture for Angie downstairs, because I come back with IKEA in my on my roof racks and in the car and stuff like that. But build a bit of flat packing. I'm nearly ready. I'm nearly at a point where I'm happy to. I might film my space. I've just been, you know, I've been here what now, just over 3 months, 4 months, and I keep rejigging it and stuff. And I think that's a permanent thing. I think your craft room, your art room, is always in a flow of stasis. It's always kind of just changing and adapting and things like that as whatever you're doing and things. Luckily, I enjoy organising and doing all that just nearly as much, if not more than crafting, to be honest. I just like, or maybe I should become a professional organiser. It'd be fun. I'd love to just go in and do people's pantries and cupboards and wardrobes and things. And I love building flat packs too, so, you know, just doing all of that would be so much fun. dun, dun. Alright. Front. So this, when it closes, this will be there. So I need to go this way. Looking good. There we go. Down and done. The front is done. Look at that. And now this is really sturdy. Now the lid, so which is good. There's all those layers. Okay. Right. Let's put that to one side for now and bring back the base. Oh, the base. And again, think about the underside. Now the underside doesn't need to be anything too fancy, but what I do want to do is use some of that gold card again because it helps provide stability. So I might do that, and maybe even just a red base, to be honest. And if I've got scraps or something later, I will, or if there's any leftovers, I'll add I'll add something onto it, then I'll map something onto the top. But I think for now, I'm just going to go red and gold. Okay. So I'll be back after I cut this, because like I said, I don't think you want to listen to me. One of these days, I'm going to get a mouse that doesn't need to be woken up. Okay. Okay, so I'm back. It's been a while. For me, not for you. What I have done is I have done the lid. Okay, so the lid is done here. I've just done the red and gold matting, just in case. I might add papers to it later, might not, but it actually looks really nice just with the red. But we'll see how it looks towards the end. And then we've got the base here. So with the base, one doesn't need to get covered because it's going to be connected to the lid, so it'll go like that and be connected. So one doesn't need to get covered, doesn't matter at this point which one. And then I've got these. What I've done is I have these ones here. The gold is the same height as before, so 7 7/8, and it's by 1 7/8, so just under the 2 inches. And then these ones here, I've put on the side ones, I'm going to put 2 magnets, and on the front one, I've put 3 magnets. Basically, because when I was pulling them out, I got 7, and I went, ugh, whatever. And that way, there's a little bit extra strength there. So I've just put them down. I probably won't put paper, which is why I've put them like this. I probably won't put paper on top of the red on these ones because they're just the inside of the box. When the box opens, you won't even see it. So I was like, oh, I'm kind of like, don't really need to put decorative paper there if it's not going to get seen. It's kind of like the base. So it's done, but it's not the focal point of the exercise, if that makes sense. So then I've got these ones here, which is the red cardstock. So these are 7 3/8, so the same height as we did the squares, and the width is 1 3/8. Just getting these on. Now, I'm telling you, when I did all of the others, didn't have any problems getting them on square. I bet you I'll have problems now that I've started filming again. Because, you know. Alright. There we go. Nor did I have any glue seepage. Of course not. But let's do it on camera and have it all go wrong. Okay. And then that's all down. Make sure it's nice around those magnets. There we go. And I'm gonna just do the other two and I'll be back, okay? Okay, so I've put them on, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. I've got a little tiny corner rounder. Best corner rounder ever from Daiso. Can't find it again. Really frustrating. I love this little fella. And it's only a tiny little corner, but I'm just going to take off the corners of these just because they're going to be the ones that open and close, and the corners will become tatty over time. So if I round them, they're less likely to you know, curl and so forth. It's just a minor thing and not necessary, but I want to kind of, you know, those little things that can make a difference. Okay, so that is the base now. So it will come up like that. And then this one here will come over. I still haven't decided whether I'm just going to have it closed down or whether I'm going to make the lid actual box lid yet. We'll get to that at some point. But that's the construction, I guess, of the box. And I think I might leave the video here and then come back when I start the decoration. That way we've got different things. So if you just wanted to see how I've kind of put the box together, then you can. If I do end up making it a box lid, I'll just glue those hinges in and that's it. It's done. It's a box lid. If not, I'll cut them out and it's just a fluffy lid. So that's, I'll leave that there. And I will see you in the next video, which is probably only going to be not too long for me, but, you know, I don't know. I might load them all up together. I never know what I'm doing. I'm sure you figured that. I just go with the flow. But at some point, there may be another video of me decorating this. All right, I'll be back. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, I'd love if you could hit the subscribe button. I rarely ask. I should ask more. And I do all kinds of things. I do colouring, I do paper crafts. It's a art and craft channel. I do lots. You don't have to watch every video. But it would be great. Leave a thumbs up, comment, all that kind of stuff. Let me know what your favourite flower is. And mine's are between poppies, irises and French pennies. Probably my 3 top favourite flowers. But there, okay, I'm going to go. And I'll see you later. Bye.